So I want to show you a map of Palestine. And this is what Palestine used to be. See all in the green? That was Palestine. That was before 1946. That's what it looked like. Then, after that, after the UN, so the UN decides, hey, we're going to give the Jewish people a homeland. So what happened in World War II doesn't happen again. And so then, now you see how it's going? You see that? So that's after the UN plan. And so they had to kick out like 700,000 people from their own homeland to make this happen. And here we are. It shrinks even more. That's in 1949 to 1967. And then this is how it looks in 2014. So from that to that. So Israel is now an apartheid state. And they're shooting unarmed protesters, medics, journalists. They're just killing them, shooting them with sniper rifles. They're imprisoning children. They're doing every horrible thing you could possibly think to do. They're keeping medicines and important supplies. It's just horrible what they're doing. And so, but Israel has such a stranglehold on our government and our media that you're not allowed to say what I'm saying right now. You're not allowed to point this out. You're not allowed to say it's an apartheid state. In fact, they do the exact opposite. Jake Tapper, I did a whole video on how horrible Jake Tapper's coverage was of the UN sanctioning Israel on their treatment of the Palestinians. He went nuts. And instead of telling you the truth, he pushed propaganda for Israel, like in the most disgusting way possible, in a way that Jake Tapper reveals himself to have no integrity and being a lying tool of the highest order. Well, he's since gone on to lie that Medicare for all costs more than the system we have now. I mean, he's just a liar, Jake Tapper. He's not a solid dude. CNN is now, they're not solid people. This is what's really happening. Do you see this? So one of their paid contributors is Marc Lamont Hill. And he made the mistake of speaking in favor of the Palestinians. Well, it's not a mistake. It's a mistake if you want to keep your job at CNN. So I think this is the part that made him get fired. And we'll listen to it.
We must advocate and promote nonviolence at every opportunity, but we cannot endorse a narrow politics of respectability that shames Palestinians for resisting, for refusing to do nothing in the face of state violence and ethnic cleansing. We have an opportunity to not just offer solidarity in words, but to commit to political action, grassroots action, local action.
He's talking about BDS. That part of what he's talking about is BDS.
International action that will give us what justice requires. And that is a free Palestine from the river to the sea. Thank you for your time.
And that's what got him fired. And then CNN immediately fired him for that. So then Israel pressured CNN to fire him. They fired him. CNN, who's supposed to be sticking up for Jim Acosta and the free speech, and Trump's attacking the... Guess who else is attacking truth tellers? CNN.
Well, when you read CNN's statement about
Do you have it?
I don't have it to present, but it literally looks like an onion piece because they have like a quote of what he said where he goes, we must advocate for nonviolence. And then after they're like, these controversial statements were made right before. So it's like... You look at that statement and it's like, yeah, this is controversial. What's controversial about what this man just said?
CNN said Thursday that it had severed ties with contributor Marc Lamont Hill following controversial comments the liberal pundit made about Israel. Marc Lamont Hill is no longer under contract with CNN. They confirmed in a short statement. The move was first reported by the media news website Mediaite. Hill, who was also professional at Temple, blah, 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 his remarks said, so they're not going to give me the whole statement? No. So this article, CNN didn't. So they didn't.
CNN business did a shitty.
So listen. I go to the CNN fucking article about this, and they don't even give me the entire CNN statement.
Mm.
What did you see?
No. That's what I'm referring to.
This is what you're referring to?
Where they talk about how he calls for nonviolence, and they're like, this controversy.
Okay.
Like, that's what I mean by, like...
Oh. In his remarks at the meeting, Hill said, we must advocate and promote nonviolence. But added, we cannot endorse a narrow politics of respectability that shames Palestinians for resisting, for refusing to do nothing in the face of state violence and ethnic cleansing. Hill also called for free Palestine from the river to the sea. The comments were immediately condemned by critics who said Hill calling for the end of Israel's state. Said he was calling for the end of the Israeli state. Hill did not respond to requests for comment Thursday afternoon, but in a series of tweets, he addressed the issue. This was not the first time Hill has come under fire. In October 2016, photo that Hill took with the Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan, an unabashed anti-Semite, resurfaced. At the time, Hill said he disagreed with Farrakhan on certain issues and that the two discussed many things in their meetings, including the question of anti-Semitism in depth. Although I disagree with the minister on those important issues, I will not allow that to be an excuse for allowing dishonest media so they had to smear him. CNN just goes and smears him with this Farrakhan thing.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what Marc Lamont Hill says. I do not support anti-Semitism, killing Jewish people, or any other things attributed to my speech. I have spent my life fighting these things. My reference to river to the sea was not a call to destroy anything or anyone, Hill continued in a separate tweet. It was a call for justice, both in Israel and in the West Bank/Gaza. You can't do that. You can't call for justice in the West Bank or Gaza because you get fired at CNN. You know, the defenders of freedom of speech and First Amendment, journalism. Now you know why when Trump calls it fake news, it lands? Now you know why when he says that they're all liars, it lands? Because now CNN is just like the Ferguson Police Department. You're inflicting harm on people who can't fight back, and the rest of the people at CNN just turn their head. Why isn't Wolf Blitzer screaming about this? Oh, I think I know. Why isn't Anderson Scooper? Why isn't Anderson Scooper screaming about this?
He's got a scoop.
I think we know why they don't scream about it. I think we know why Jack Tapper isn't going to scream about it. I think we know why nobody at Chris Cuomo's not going to scream about this. No one's going to scream about this at CNN. You know why? Because they all want to keep their jobs and they don't really give a fuck. They don't really give a fuck at all. They don't give a fuck about you, about telling you the truth. They're all narcissists, and all they care about is making a six-figure salary and being a celebrity on TV. That's not fucking clear to you yet? That's why we have a job. That's why CNN has to smear people like us because we're a threat to them. Because everybody who watches their stupid fucking channel is 85 years old or older. I'm exaggerating. I think 65 years old or older.
I think it's 72.
72 is their average age?
72 is the average, I'm pretty
Definitely.
Sure.
It's
between
already
68 and 72. I'm pretty sure Fox News is 72. CNN might be a little lower, but
and that's not that there's anything wrong with being aging. Nothing wrong with aging. But they're not valuable to advertisers. You know who is? The people who watch this show. People in the demo, as they call it. And so CNN, dishonest as they always are, will smear people like us because we're actually telling you the fucking truth, and they know it, and they know people want it. And if this shit catches on a little more, they're fucking screwed. So now you know why that CNN and everybody at CNN are fucking garbage. They're not worth a goddamn thing. Fucking garbage. And thank God I don't have to suck up to them to sell my books. Thank God I don't have to come out and say they're pretty good because they have me on to help promote my book. Thank God. I have the freedom. I'm an outsider. I want them to smear me. That's a badge of fucking honor. That means I'm doing something. So that feels good that we're doing something, and a place like CNN has to smear us for telling the fucking truth about war, which they will never do. They won't even tell you. They won't even let you tell the truth about Israeli and Palestine relationship. They don't even let you tell the truth about Palestine. You get fucking fired. They didn't smear him, just smear him. They fired his ass. And now there's a petition to get his job back. So I got getting these emails. Sign the petition to get Marc Lamont. Fuck off. Why would I want to sign a petition that would make CNN better? Why would I want that to fucking happen? Why does Marc Lamont Hill want to go back on fucking CNN? Why would you want to go back to work for your oppressor? Fuck CNN. How about we pass around a petition to stop watching fucking CNN? How about that petition? Let's get his job back. They did that earlier to get someone's job back on MSNBC. Why would you want your job back from fucking MSNBC? They already fired you. Oh, please, sir, can I have a trickle? Can I have a trickle of your corporate money, sir? Please, sir. I won't say anything about Joy-Ann Reid, I promise. Why the fuck would you want that? I know why. Because you're shitty. So, no, I'm not signing the petition to get Marc Lamont Hill's job back. And I will sign a petition to tell people to stop watching fucking CNN.
I would sign that petition too, but I wouldn't have to change my life at all.
Right.
I'd just be like, all right, I'm going to just keep doing what I've been doing for a while now.
How about we have a petition to make fucking CNN be consistent? How about that? How about there's a petition to make CNN tell the truth about war? How about that petition? How about a petition to make them tell the truth about Israel and Palestine? How about that fucking petition?
How about one to not let Rick Santorum talk about climate change? How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
How about only qualified people get to talk about climate change?
What is achieved by having a guy suck up to his oppressor so he can get fucking money again? What is achieved by that? Fuck that. Marc Lamont Hill can come on my show. Marc Lamont Hill can go on fucking other shows. Why prop up CNN with a guy like Marc Lamont Hill is willing to tell the truth about Palestine? Fuck them. I'm right about this, right?
Yeah, I love the whole thing about fuck CNN and sign that petition. That's the petition I'll sign. That, Marc Lamont Hill is superior morally to CNN. Don't go back. Don't go back. You don't need them.
Yeah, I'd rather see him run with this and make it be the best thing that happened to him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Marc Lamont Hill, yeah.
Believe me, Marc Lamont Hill is going to get a lot more offers now for speaking engagements from the left that don't pay shit. But if he was out there rallying on the side of Israel, he would get a lot of offers to speak too, and they would pay well. There's a lot of money in being propping up the establishment narrative about apartheid, about war, about oppression. There's a lot of money to be made in that. But Marc Lamont Hill should come on this show, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's reach out to him, I guess. Get him on this show. Okay, let's go. Okay, so that's my segment on that. Our next live Jimmy Dore show is February 1st in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a list of all our live shows, and please become a premium member if you can. Become a patron. It's the way we support this show because they're coming at us, and we give you bonus. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Check it out. Become a patron. And if you can, make sure you're still subscribed. They unsubscribe people every day. I know it sounds crazy. It only takes a second. Please make sure and click that bell when you subscribe so they'll send you a notice when we drop a video. Thanks for your support.